These are Boku-Undo Japanese paints. These were a gift to me from a good friend, and today I'm going to swatch them out. These are all in the black shadow range of color. I'm Marty Owings. Let's have a look at these. These are all tinted, so the first tint is reddish, and then there's yellowish, greenish, bluish, purplish, and brownish in this set. We'll take a look at all these closely, and then we'll go ahead and I'll do some a little bit of drawing painting with these, and then I can share my thoughts with you about these paints from Japan. If you go to Boku-Undo, it's Boku-Undo. So I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation, not a native Japanese speaker, but if you go to the website, it's all in Japanese, so it's a little bit difficult to get some of the information that I was looking for on these paints, especially safety data, pigment data, things like that. I was able to find their safety data sheet over on the Dick Blick site, so I will have a link for that in the description below, as well as some additional information. But these are classed in the class 2 carcinogen area, which is a little ambiguous if you go to look it up. It may or may not cause cancer, and in a substantial amount you'd have to ingest these or inhale particles or something like that, but generally considered safe for watercolor usage. So yeah, and then you could see some of the sediment from the paint settled in there. And if you're interested in learning more about watercolors and their toxicity, I put a link in the description to a very good article by this gentleman named Anthony. But for today, I just wanted to check these out because they are, it's a unique sort of paint. It's traditional Japanese paint. I know they do a lot of sumi-e paints. I think I'm hopefully pronouncing that right, which is kind of a traditional Japanese ink painting. And when I was looking up information on these, they did say they were ink-based. So I'm not sure if that's true or accurate or not, but whatever the case may be, the paints are easy to use. They dissolve nicely. The color is good there. The pigment's strong, and they do definitely shade to the darker side. Although they're not, real black or dark or anything like that, they do tend to shade a little bit into that darker range. So getting a mid-range tone with these is a little bit tougher than I thought it might be, but that's okay. That's not the paint's fault. That's on me. But everything else about the paints is just fine. I like using them. They, as I said, they go down pretty easy. So here I'm just going to do a little drawing, sketching with my graphite pencil here, and then I will use some of these paints to color in the shadows. Now I'm mostly going to stick with the bluish. I don't know why I did that, but it just feels more familiar to me, I guess, as I'm used to using like Payne's gray. For a second there, I thought, well, I'll just branch out and do like shadows in all the colors here. And I probably should have done that. I didn't. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to do a little drawing and sketching with them to kind of paint these shadows in where they should go on these figures if the light was from left to right. But anyway, light direction is not important. It's just getting the color in there to kind of show how I can use this color in the darker shade to kind of add the sense of shadow here on these objects, people, sketches. So I've been teaching this basic sketching course really to kind of help people get the joy out of sketching. And one of the sections of the class is how to sketch people and draw people. So it was good practice for me to get in here and try this a little bit so that I can help the students in the class a little bit more. I do sketch people quite a bit. Not really a portrait artist by any means, but people in scenes and things like that. It's fun to sketch. So this was a good chance to get back in that habit. These are more like, architectural sketches of people or renderings like an architect might do. They're off in the distance, obviously, but really fun to sketch in here and practice that a little bit more. Now, one of the things about using the paint to cast the shadows and things like that and give them grounding, these so they're not just floating in space, is to draw that little shadow line along their feet there. just so, wherever the light's coming from, it's going to cast a shadow, even on a dull day. So I kind of changed things up a little bit here and there, but I basically just wanted to get a feel for that. And this paint just works great for that, no problem at all. I could probably just use just about any paint. I think the real novelty in this is that it's a kind of an ink-based paint and that it comes in these various shades. So you could use, red or whatever. It'll save you some time mixing paint if you wanted to do a cool and or a warm shadow. You have the paints available to help you do that already in the pan, which is kind of cool. Okay, just a few final thoughts about these Boku-Undo Japanese paints in the black or shadow range. I liked using them. I thought they were great. I want to try out the warmer tones a little bit more, but for what they are, they were fun to use. And yeah, I think I'll try and do some more with these. That's it for today. This has been Marty for owingsart.com.